applied 6 times to agencies and I had everything. I had theater school on my resume. I had like 6 different acting classes on my resume. I have everything. I have every profile that I could possibly be paying for, you know, like why am I still not getting an agent? Like
1, 2, 3, let's switch this up.
Hi my little honeys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Anastasia, also known as your fave social media girl. I'm an actor based here in Toronto. I make videos about acting, self-love, body positivity, and occasional vlogs. Before I get started on this video, please don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to turn on the bell notification button so you know every single time that I post, which is on Fridays. I kind of want to get into talking about agents for a little bit because my last video, I kind of started a little bit of a conversation with some of my subscribers. People have commented, people have DM'd me on Instagram, and I feel that this conversation about agents, oh God, it's such a big one and there's so much we can talk about and there's so many questions that you can ask, and unfortunately there is so many times where you're going to get almost like an unanswered answer. Like I don't even know, someone will give you an answer but it won't even be a legit answer. And so I kind of want to, I think the next couple of videos I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about agents. I'm going to talk about everything that I possibly can give you that I've learned, that I've heard, that I've seen, and that I've even had own conversations with agents. And I hope this helps you. I hope this sort of allows you to find peace and allows you to sort of kind of figure out what direction you want to go into and sort of figure out what relationship and, you know, what you're looking for when it comes to agents. The first thing I want us to start off by saying is that this is part of the industry. I know you do not want to hear that, but this is something you need to to terms with. This industry is so confusing and is so all over the place, and a lot of the times it also has literally nothing to do with you. You can have the most perfect package. I know people, and it's funny, my agent and I, we had a conversation about this, and basically what my agent said is that they don't think it's right that sometimes now what they do is that casting directors will cast people based on look, even though they don't have the talent at all. And I also agree with them. I think this is so wrong. Yes, there needs to be obviously a look involved when casting, but it shouldn't be the first thing that you go for. Like, I see a lot of this happening right now, and it's not necessarily right. And it's, like I said, it has nothing to do with me. I haven't been able to book anything for the last year and a half. And I actually recently, just like I talked about in my last agent video, I had a meeting with my agent and I had a very open conversation with him where I said, like, do you think it's me? Like, what's going on here? Like, I literally am being seen by everybody, and I'm being seen for really, really good stuff, from Netflix to TV shows, to films, to indie films, to everything. And I can't book any of it. And basically my agent was just like, it's not you. Like, you just have to keep grinding and keep working. Trust me, the right time, the right place, the role will come. Just keep doing what you're doing. And it's the same thing when it comes to getting an agent. You can have, like I said, the perfect package. It's not your fault if you are not getting the agent. Like 90% of the time, it is not your fault. Reasons of why it's not working and why you could possibly maybe not be getting an agent. Simple. It could be that the time that you're actually applying for the agents and agencies is that it's an extremely busy time. Summer is probably the least greatest time to apply for agencies because April, things really start to get crazy. May is like central, same with June, July, August. I'm talking about Canada specifically because in Canada, our best weather obviously is hence spring and summer. That's when everybody wants to film everything. Nobody wants to film in the middle of winter because that is just really difficult. And if you have any exterior shots, nobody wants to do that because it's very weather permitted. So would not be applying during the summer because most likely the agents are not even gonna look at their submission like submission emails because they are too busy trying to put out the talent that they already have on the roster, too busy trying to submit self-tapes. And that is one of the reasons that you probably could be applying at the wrong time when it comes to applying to agencies. Another reason could be is that the agent is not expanding, period. Either they're not expanding in specifically your category or they're just not expanding at all. I had an agent that I had my eye on for quite a while, and when I emailed them, they loved my package. They emailed me actually quite fast and they loved everything I had. But basically this agent was like, look, I'm gonna be honest, because I'm not even expanding at all. Like nobody, no man, no woman, no one. because they just don't have the space for it. And it sucks because that agent clearly liked what I had. They would have signed me if they had space. And I think you have to remember that if you're also white, Caucasian like me with blue eyes and freckles and in her mid-20s, I'm 26, like the pool of us is so many. We're like the entire Pacific and Atlantic Ocean put together. So it is more difficult for us to get an agent because there is such a massive number of us already in the industry. So it doesn't mean that the agent doesn't want you. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with your package. It would just mean that you can wait a couple months and then check back with that agent again in a few months to see if maybe they let go of someone that is in your category, or they've let go of people in general and they are looking to expand their roster or expand in the category that you are in. This one's like my least favorite reason, but sometimes the agents just like have not even opened their emails. Hence, if you apply during the summer, they probably will not open those emails of submissions for like 3 months. So I also wouldn't worry about that, because it's funny, when my boyfriend Makita was applying to agents, he actually got a response from an agent 2 months later being like, hey, just going down my submission list and I really like your package. Do you want to meet? And at that point he's like, I already signed with someone, but thanks. Heard of acting friends down the grapevine, how they've got responses a year later being like, hey, we're actually going through everything that we've gotten last year. Can you imagine how many people probably that is? And happen to really like what you got. So they're like, let's have a meeting. I mean, if you're available and you're interested, go for it. But if not, then I mean, that's that. Agents also forget. That's very common because agents have a lot going on. So they will open up their email and then be like, oh, I like this person. And then 100 auditions flood in or 100 self-tapes flood in and they have to submit them or whatever. And then they forget about that email. So that can also happen as well. You can do a gentle kind of like check-in, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yes, you can check in, but agents do also forget. So again, nothing to do with you. It's all about the agent forgetting about the email. So that is also a very annoying option as well. This industry, and I really don't like saying this, but this industry is bigly based on referrals and connections. There are agents in the city that actually won't even take any actors unless they've been referred by another casting director or by a teacher. I'm not saying that just because like you're never gonna make it or you're not gonna get an agent if you don't know anyone. That's not the case, but would not hurt. You did know somebody that could help you, that could make that connection or referral for you. I'll also talk about that on what you can do when it comes to referrals and connections, but that is another part of it where I felt that when I was applying for 6 times, I lacked in why am I not getting anything? And it's primarily is because I literally did not know anyone in the industry, and people don't know you. And I think we're living in a generation right now where people just don't have the time nor even the want to get to know someone new. The last one I would say is sometimes truly, like, your package could be impeccable, your package could be amazing, your package could be the best package they've ever seen, but something just doesn't click with the package, truly. And this is something where I do recommend for people to get their package looked at by someone in the industry professionally who is working and who knows what's up, because I used to have these headshots done by a photographer here in Toronto, and they were huge. They're huge in Vancouver. They're really big here. They've been doing headshot photography for like 25 years. I paid a literal fortune for these headshots. They were beautiful. Like, I will not deny it. They were gorgeous. They were everything I could ever, want. But I was 19, I think at the time, 19, 20 when I got these headshots done. And the headshots make me look like I was almost like 34 years old. I just remember looking at these headshots and I was obsessed with them because I'm like, I look so beautiful. But then I'm like, but that's not the point when it comes to headshots. You don't want to look at yourself and be like, I look so beautiful. Like, you need to be able to look at yourself and be like, wow, I see a cop. I see a school teacher. I see sexy vixen. I see like rebel, whatever. It's not about the beauty and how beautiful you are in your headshots. It's more so like, who can you play and who can you get casted on? They're not castable. And if they're not showing who you are, you're not going to get an agent, because your agent's going to look at that and be like, okay, I mean, that's nice, but I don't see anything that you could possibly go out for. So have someone take a look at it. Have them like just see what they see, because you never know. Sometimes what you see is not the same thing that they see, and it could actually really help you out as well. What can you you do differently with, like, for example, those options? If you've applied a million times, you have a good package, what can you do differently in order to get that agent? So like I talked about follow-up, gentle follow-up, and I really like bold, italics, underline the word gentle. Why? Because I have seen actors in the industry aggressively do a follow-up, which completely blows in their face. And a lot of the time, the agent literally never wants to look at you again and probably will even block your email. You can follow up between 10 to 14 days after you have sent out your package if you have not heard back from them. They haven't opened their emails. They'll be like, oh my God, this person emailed me again. Yeah, let me take a look at what they want. Or they've already opened their email and like I said, too many things came up, they forgot, they opened it, it's not marked as unread. You emailing them will give them that, oh my gosh, yes, I forgot, like I opened up, I love what they had, so let me go back and take a look at what they're trying to say to me now. So I had agents reach out to me after being like, hey, Anna, I am so sorry. Yes, of course, like let's have a meeting. I want to talk to you. I want to chat with you. Forgot to open, been a crazy 2 weeks. So it was totally fine. I feature something new. It could be something from your cover letter. Like cover letter, you talked about how you're like, my newest addition into my acting package is that I'm going to be part of the 2024 Fringe Festival here in Toronto. You can say that in your check-in as well. Hey, want to check in if you had a chance to look at my package. Just want to let you know my newest audition is being part of the Fringe Festival. Super excited. If you want to come check it out, let me know. Like something as simple as that. You can also reapply within, I'd say, 6 to 8 months after you apply to agencies. Now, ideally, they say that you want to, when you reapply, use something new. I don't know. I find this really difficult because every 6 to 8 months, you're just gonna keep getting new headshots and paying like $800 for new headshots. No, you can like continue doing some, short films here and there and adding that to your demo. So then you have something new. And like I said, a new addition could be the fact that, I just did a fun new short film, add that to the email. That could be a reapplying of your 6 to 8 months after that, like something new to the package. Something simple as literally rearranging the format of your resume can really help you. So I have reapplied to agencies after 8 months where I literally did not change a thing. You never know. So go both ways, see what works. If you think also going to industry night events and seminars is important. I know Casting Workbook does a lot of these where they'll talk about Casting Workbook is now going to have an interview, or not an interview, like a chat with Stephanie Gorin, who's a huge casting director here in Toronto. It's important to watch those sometimes because Stephanie Gorin will say things like, someone asked her a question like, what new to the industry? And you don't have a huge resume and you see a lot of big union actors, like how can we get into your room? She talked about it. She's like, honestly, the first thing I look at somebody who's new at a resume is, where did you train? Do you have training? Because if you don't have training, I'm not even gonna look at you. Things simple as that, where I was like, oh my God, I was like, okay, cool. I didn't think of that. Okay, good to know. Well, another really thing that you wanna do, there's a lot of showcases that happen, like and do Monologue Slam, that's really big because people get to see your work online all the time. Can do the artist showcase. That's also good because if you get into the top 10, casting director of that city will actually have a one-on-one with you and a chat, which I think is really important. So it's another way for you to kind of get noticed and get into the industry. Artist showcase. I mean, I have my own like opinion about it, but artist showcase, what's cool about them is that if you're in the top 20 and you're looking for agencies that actually can send out your entire package to agencies, and then from there an agent can see you and be like, oh, I love her work, like, or his work or whatever, and then you can get an agent from that as well. For the referral thing, it's kind of the same thing. Like if you're in an acting class, for example, talk to your teacher, talk to your coach to be like, look, I'm having a really hard time applying to agencies. I've been applying so much, not getting responses. Do you know anyone in the industry that maybe you can help me get an agent, or can you like offer a referral, or maybe, can you point me to agencies that you believe could be good for me or whatever. It's really important. Talking to the people in your class, like seeing who has who and if they like their agent, yes or no. If they do like their agent, if they're not like a lookalike to you, like if it's not a like, girl has bangs, mid-20s or whatever, you can talk to them and be like, hey, do you mind if I use your name saying that, hey, I'm gonna apply to your agent, like I know a client of yours, blah, blah, blah. And then that person would sort of like send an email to their agent being like, hey, classmate of mine is applying, really great actor, blah, blah, blah. Please check out their package. You never know. The referrals really do help. But like I said, ask classmates, ask teachers, ask any industry professional person that is known in this industry for help and advice. And lastly, have someone, like I said, in the industry look at your package. During the time to keep yourself busy, let's say you're gonna apply in 6 to 8 months, search for your own work. Apply to short films, apply to indie films, independent, shorts, student films. Like, try to continue your training so then you're gonna get that footage and you can use it in your demo, so then you have a new demo when you're coming in to reapplying to the agencies. Finding your own work will really, really save you and is super important. What's also really good is that if you want to do theater, any theater festivals, fringe festivals, see what they're doing. If they're doing general auditions, if they're doing some sort of workshops, whatever, apply for it all, because these are new things that you can add to your resume, new things you can add to your package, and it's also still training for you. And lastly, you do not want to stop doing class. Class is very important because, well, we all know class is class, and you need to continue doing it regardless whether you have an agent or you're auditioning or not. Work with people in your kind of category as well, people in your class, friends, whatever, they can help you out as well. And like I said, all the seminars, the casting workbook posts about them all the time, being like new seminars of this, new seminar of that. Also take a look at online, type it in Google, like workshops happening in Toronto for acting, new stuff coming out all the time, new showcases coming out all the time. Apply to those showcases. Go out there, because you never know, an agent can walk in there, see you and love what you did, and next thing you know, they want to have a meeting with you. Honeys, I want you to remember that this process takes time. It really does. And I was that eager actor. The first 3 times when I was applying, I was like, oh my God, I'm applying. I'm so excited. I'm gonna get an agent within 1 week. It does not happen that way. It can happen for some, but majority, it does not happen. And it is frustrating, and I hear you, and I've been in your shoes, and I know what it feels like, but you just have to trust the process. A lot of trial and error. Oh my God, is it ever a lot of trial and error? But proud of you, and I'm excited for you, and I am excited to see where this can take you. So if you want me to take a look at your package, I have my email link down below. We can do a consultation session. I can look at your entire package if this is something we're interested in, and we can chat more about it. I love you, honeys. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend. The weather in Toronto is so good. I'm so happy. And yeah, okay, I gotta go to work. Mwah. Bye, honeys.